Okay, let's see where we at. This is an experiment, episode 15. It's an experiment, episode 15. Today is August 23rd, Monday, August 23rd, 10:15 p.m. I'm doing this a little bit earlier in the day and the night than I usually do. Um, so I hold on. So just one thing about this real quick is so first of all, nobody's watched this. At this point, on episode 15, I'm pretty comfortable that nobody's gonna stumble upon this randomly for quite a while. If someone was going to randomly stumble upon this, I feel like it would have happened by now. Um, and it hasn't. Except for that one day where I'm not sure if someone actually saw it or it was just me refreshing my own. Doesn't matter. So I haven't. I can't remember when the last episode was that I published. 20th. So it's been like 3 days. So what has happened in those 3 days? You know, it doesn't matter. Let me tell you why I'm actually here. And by me, I mean you, David. This isn't about to talk about random stuff. This is about coaching myself. This is David coaching David time. Um, this is me coaching myself, and I'm really like putting some stuff to the test right now, um, because I coach myself a lot, and one of the things that I'm looking at right now is really zoning in how efficient I do this and how efficiently I can do this. Um, I've been working on something and I keep like coming up against this wall of resistance. And so I was in this place of I can keep like trying to shout through. It's like or I can stop and I can figure out what the fuck is going on in my mind, resolve that shit, and then move forward. Okay, so basically doing what I say that I do. The inherent irony of it is that in order for me to coach myself through my block, I have to stop working on the thing. So it almost gets a little um, in like self-ception, like self-inception like thing because it's almost as if my now that I know that I can identify now that I know that I can identify blocks, my brain just like, okay, let me just throw a whole bunch of them at you, Mr. Hotshot. You think you can identify all your mental and emotional blocks? I'm gonna just load you up with them to keep you busy working through mental and emotional blocks. So so that you don't actually get anything done. Now that you're so obsessed with diagnosing and resolving your own mental and emotional blocks, I'm just gonna spoon like feed them to you by the shovelful. I'm just gonna like you wanna have fun uncovering those mental and emotional blocks. I'll give them to you all day long, and you can play with those. And you'll be spending all of that time getting through your mental and emotional blocks that you don't actually spend any time doing the stuff that matters. Whew! Ah, there we go. That's some shit, isn't it? Yeah. We love. I look. I am the king. Obviously, I'm the king of self sabotage, but I also understand how I work, so I can identify when it's happening. Um, the whole point of this was to talk myself through this block that I was coming against up against where because I'm working on putting together this like system. I mean, I already have this methodology, right? It's having clarity, having direction, having self awareness, being able to be introspective, and then use that to inform transformation, change in your life, right? And I've been doing this for years. Been doing it for a long ass fucking time. And now I'm trying to not trying. I'm actually taking this stuff that I've been doing, but I'm like whittling it down and like molding it and shit. It's like how do I take this thing that I do just effortlessly, and how do I like take it out of my mind and push it through that language filter in a way that makes sense. And so every step of the way, in the words that I write, I'm like, does this actually make sense? Because I look at it and I'm just like, I don't even know if I question myself. It's like it is. It's a doubt. It's definitely a doubt in myself, questioning myself. Is what I'm saying making sense? Is this like, uh, is this actually, is it going to work? Because as I am so at, look, what works for one person is not going to work for all people. And this this methodology can help a lot of people, but it takes patience. So anybody that doesn't have the patience or doesn't want to deal with that shit, then it's not going to work for them if they don't want to do it, which is true. And so I feel like the thing that I'm coming up against now is this idea of writing out this system that works really well for me, but it's almost like, what happens if I actually take this thing out of my brain, the way that I process the world, so that I can not fuck myself over as I'm progressing in life? What if I take this methodology that works so well for me, um, and I put it into this book and I create this program around it, and everybody's like, bro, what? What? Why are you you're making this way too complicated, bro. Right? It's like you're making it way too it doesn't have to be this complicated. And here's the thing is that overcomplication and oversimplification are two sides of the same coin. Binary, right? Like I always talk about, two sides of the same coin. Overcomplication, oversimplification. Making it, and it really is this thing of, while it sounds like overcomplicating, it's breaking down to a granular level for the sake of understanding, because once that understanding locks into place, then the rest of the things kind of like fall into. It's like needing to have the base level, like fundamental understanding of how this like all works together, how to think about life, right? For someone that isn't used to critical thinking, especially critical thinking about themselves, for someone that isn't used to doing critical thinking about themselves, especially in an objective manner, for someone that's not used to that, it has to be like broken down to the granular level. You do kind of like have to hold their hand, hold your, like, look, this is what you do. These are the literal questions you ask yourself. I don't get it. It's not going to make sense. You have to keep doing it. It's like riding a bike. It really is. Like introspection, self evaluation, self analysis, and transformation is like riding a bike. It feels weird and it feels goofy and it doesn't seem like you're doing it right. And right when you think you get the hang of it, you fucking fall off the bike and you skin your knee and you bruise your elbow and you're like, God damn it. Right when I thought I was starting to figure it out, here I am. I just hurt myself again. Why do I do? But then that one time, all it takes, that one time when you're riding the bike and it clicks, oh, I'm riding a bike. I know how to ride a bike. This is easy. This is no problem. And you can ride a bike for the rest of your life. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget how to ride a bike. It's true. It's weird and goofy and wonky and like everything about it. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, what do you mean? I turn this way. I have to lean. It just, yeah. It's goofy and weird, and it doesn't make sense. And you need training wheels. And um, you need training wheels. And that's what introspection and transformation is like. It's like goofy and weird at the beginning, and it's like, yeah, you have to, do this thing, and you have to, do this, and then like do this and do this, and and it's like, what? It doesn't make sense. And then it clicks, and you're like, oh, I get it now. I get it now. So what I'm coming up against, I thought I had it written on my whiteboard, um, is this doubt. The doubt of, if I put this together, if I put this out there, is it actually going to make sense for people? Am I actually going to be able to communicate it effectively? Is it actually going to help people the way that I think it can? Or is it simply my coping mechanism that is of no use to anybody except for myself? But you know what they say, if one person's struggling with a problem, then there's likely other people that are struggling with the same problem. It's kind of like how the world works, right? How people work. People have similar problems. Similar people have similar problems. And what this is a solution to is the problem of not being able to objectively evaluate oneself to identify and understand our own limitations that we put on ourselves. Limiting beliefs. What do I believe is and is not possible? What do I believe I can and cannot do? What are the limitations of life? What's plausible? What's feasible? What's realistic? What's not realistic? Um, and yeah, it's and the, here's the thing, is that it's a methodology. It's a methodology in self-evaluation and how to think, but how to think about yourself, right? But at a very granular level, and talking about it without giving like the whole thing that's going to make this make sense is clear examples for literally every single step of the way. And so when I start typing about this and talking about it in the abstract, the theoretical, the vague idea, the big overarching theme, I'm like, this sounds like gibberish because it's like, I mean, because it's like I'm talking about how to think. I'm like having to think about how I explain how to think. But it's like it has to, like, I have to get this out of me. I do. And it's like, even if it's for no one other than just my own kind of like like just get it out. I have to get out of me. This whole idea, this whole system, this whole belief. I don't know if anything's gonna happen with it. But here's my position. Uh, this is what I have to put myself to. Okay, I'm getting myself to the place. I'm coaching myself through this. This is how it works. Okay, so this is what I have to do. This is the end all be all. Okay, I don't know if this shit is gonna work until I put it out or not. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna work, and that's okay. Because ultimately I just have to get this shit out of my system. I have to dump it. Just like boom. Like let me build out and drop every last little nugget of stuff inside of me that has to do with this whole process of self-awareness and introspection and transformation and creating the life that you really want. Let me take all of that shit, throw it out into a book and a course, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at the very least, I can say I don't have it trapped in my mind anymore. I don't have to live with it like the way that I I don't want to live with it anymore. And when I say I don't want to live with it, it's not I don't want to live with the methodology. Um, it is. Oh, there's the other part. It's not that I don't want to live with the methodology. I don't want to live with figuring out how to explain it anymore, is what it is. I've gotten so tired of trying to figure out how to explain this that I'm just going to throw it out and explain it the best that I can, cross my fingers and hope for the best. God willing, it helps some people. So here's the other thing that just kind of like sprung to mind. The other thing is the fear of outgrowing my own system. The fear of outgrowing my own system. Why is this a big deal? And why is this problematic? And what's going on in my brain around this? Well, as they say, the thing that got you here is not the thing that will get you there, right? The thing that got you here is not the thing that will get you there. And it's like, my system did a really good job getting me here. It did. It did. And and now it's like, does this mean that to get there, to move on from here, to get there, I have to create a different system? I have to create a new system. I don't know. Do I expand and refine this one? Do I continue living with this one? Because I mean, I don't know. This one's been serving me pretty well up until this point. If it's not broke, don't fix it, right? That's what they say. But they say what's if it's not broke, don't fix it. But they also say that what got you here won't get you there. And anyway, so the other kind, the fear is the inherent hypocrisy that would be bound to happen in the future. I have this whole methodology in my head of that changed my life and allowed me to think more clearly about myself, how I exist in the world, how the world exists for me, and what I can do to change myself and change the world from the inside out, right? Wonderful system and methodology to make that happen. And then I put it out into the world, and then I abandon it for a new system. And it's like, look, I know I said that this is all of the stuff that you have to do, but I guess I was wrong. Like, it works up until a certain point, but then you have to do this. I think that's a fear, right? That's the fear. That's what stops me, is the fear of my own inherent hypocrisy. Like, and the thing is, it's unavoidable. It's unavoidable. And I feel like I may be coming up to that point. I feel like I may already be here. You know, when we talk about it, like I literally started this conversation with myself. What I started this out with is realizing that I've realized how good I am at identifying my own blocks and how I'm self-sabotaging and all of that stuff. That I can go and be like, bam, oh, that's what it is. Bam, that's what it is. Bam, that's what it is. Bam, that's what it is. I did it. Like, it's not hard for me anymore. And so my new blind spot is fabricating blocks that aren't actually there. Like, fabricating extra, like fabricating an abundance of mental and emotional blocks so that I have to deal with those before I actually start doing things. And so, how do I get past that? That's the new question. New question is, So it's not about how do I keep myself from fabricating blocks and beliefs. How do I, it's either how do I keep myself from fabricating blocks or beliefs, or how do I, hmm, I mean, the other part of it is just the same stuff resurfacing in different ways: negative self talk, doubt, worthiness, am I good enough, right? Same thing, different form, different shape. Ah. So now, okay, okay, I got it. Okay. So now that I've gotten to the place that if I actually like walk myself through and bam, 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 okay, this is what I'm dealing with. Oh, I was just talking about this too. So I have to like shorten that window. I've shortened the window of time. So I have to. Um, I have to coach myself faster in the moment. Not just that, I need to program a physiological response, right? I'm getting it's to the point where it's like, okay, so I've got some doubt going on right now. That's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a block of doubt. And just by identifying it, one isn't enough. It's like, okay, cool, I'm dealing with self-doubt. Doesn't make it go away. Okay, so now we gotta make it go away. Uh, so what do we do? Physiological response. Clear, like, or clear charge. So it's almost like I have to, so identify like the feeling within my own body, my mind, my brain. It's like this is what I feel when I start to feel a sense of self-doubt. And then and then once I have undone that, this is what it feels like. So that in that moment, I'm like, oh shit, I'm dealing with self doubt again. Okay, what does that feel like? Okay, what physiological response did I program that uh, removes self doubt? Okay, bam, that's it. So I don't have to talk myself through it anymore. Be like, fuck, it's the self doubt. Okay, like it looks crazy. Literally adjusting my physiology with my brain. Okay. So that's the next step. How do we take it to a next level? Well, once you get really good at coaching yourself through talking about shit, coach yourself through feeling it. Yay. Okay. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get back to work on stuff that is important. And I'm going to get the like in the so the no, so the thing the tool that I'm going to use the tool that I'm going to use coming out of this, because right now it's working on the book and putting together the offer is like around the master your mirror concept. Okay, so I'm working on the book. I'm working on the course, the program, like whatever, but the program. So those are the two things where this doubt starts to creep up. The doubt doesn't really come uh, in the self doubt doesn't really come in anywhere other than working on this book and working on the program. So the tool that I use in those moments where it's like, oh shit, I'm feeling that like block, and it's like, okay, well, the tool that I'm going to use in this block is I literally stop and I say, okay, well, you know what? You're going to crank this shit out. You're going to do the best that you can, and you're just going to get it out there. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least you can say you put it out there. And it's like, okay, yep, makes sense. Let me just get it the fuck out of my system. Just let me clear my system of this master your mirror shit. Um, and yeah, let me just clear it all out of my system. Get the book out, get the program out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I don't have to fucking deal with it anymore. Yep. Okay. That's going to work. That's the tool. That's what I tell myself. All right. So today is August 23rd, 2021. It is Monday, August 23rd, 2021, 10:41 p.m. This is an experiment, episode 15. Episode 15. All right. Peace out, Girl Scout.